Welcome to Trade with Rob, brought to you by WealthBuildersHQ.com. This update is for Friday, the 30th of August, 2024. Hope you had a great trading day. Hope it has been a fantastic day overall for you. Keep in mind as we get started that everything we look at is for education. Nothing is meant to be advice or recommendations. All right, so I want to start off first by looking at the candidates from our last update. So you're going to notice something a little bit different here. Normally I have 3 lines. This time it was 4. Well, how did it go 4? You only gave us 3 candidates, yes, but one of them is 2 times. Let's talk about that. So MasterCard was the trade setup, and what happened on MasterCard, and this would be yesterday's data that we're working off of, right? So what happened? Well, we gapped down a little bit. Yes, they maybe opened flat, but we bounced off of that 470, 417 and moved up. So a bullish trade was taken there, which we were stopped out at 473. That stop out, let's say you had one contract, right? Or let's make it easy, you had 100 shares, okay? We bought 100 shares and it went against us. We said, stop us out of it, meaning sell that 100 shares plus sell an additional 100. What? Yep, I'm doubling down on it. So in essence, what I did here was when I went ahead and got out of my call options and I was down on that position, I turned right back around at the same price that I got out on my stop, and I bought put options on the same setup. So I traded the downside move on it. So yes, I didn't get the first move, wasn't the best move, but I was able to come back, didn't do great on it, but was able to come back and minimize some of my risk or losses on that trade. All right, so with that, as you look here, the first first MasterCard trade was the bullish one. We got in at 475.5, got out at 473. We're down 180 bucks. It was a losing trade. Right, the second MasterCard, we did a bearish trade. We got into 473, got out of 471.5 because we had that 8 moving average in there. And we had to respect that level. So it was $108 on the winning trade for that one. Okay, Teradyne, you can see here, the last one was no trade taken on that one, no setup there. And then Netflix was our other one. We love me some Netflix, right? You can see it opened up about where it closed previous day. Stretched right into that 696.89. If we go look at a 5-minute candle, from there we stretched right up in there, and it's actually where are we looking at here? 5-minute. Let's bring this current. There we go. So right here, we gapped down, we closed. First candle, second candle, we stretched up, and we got that line right there as 696.89, and our high here was 696.67. 22 cents away. Guys, we got there. We tagged it. We nailed it. We crushed it. Whatever word you want to say. Boom, chagalaga. And we failed right off of there. Right? We didn't make it all the way down to our support level. And the reason for that is we had the 8 moving average to contend with. It made it all the way down. We did not take it all the way down. So we're out of that trade right there at about 686. Right, we did go all the way down past that 680.5 level, but we got out at 686. That happened to be a really good trade for us. We're up $702 on that one. So that brings us a total P&L of $65.46.84 for a $204.59 per trade is what our P&L works out to be. So overall, doing extremely well. Let's go ahead and look at today's setups. So we'll talk first about the S&P 500. Right, so we had a little bit of weakness again in there. Couldn't get up as high as the previous high we had, but higher than yesterday's close, or than yesterday's high rather. So that's good overall. But we're still showing weakness on the overall pattern in the S&P. All right, our first candidate for tomorrow is Tesla. Now, I like Tesla, but it ain't my favorite one. I love to trade Tesla. It's one of my favorite stocks to trade, period. But we've got some obstacles in the road in both directions. The downside is my favorite setup, so we're going to do that one first, and then talk about if there's even an upside to take. So we make a move to the downside off that 207 level, come back, retest, and fail. We're in that trade right about 206 is where I would be the entry. That would be my target, my entry. My support is at 200. My target's going to be right about 201. So I don't have a lot of room in here. I got about $5. On the upside, no trade to the upside. My moving averages are right there. There's too much congestion right there, so I'm not interested. So this is a one-directional trade only. We're already in a bearish bias. We already have a rank of 2. I like the setup. I'd prefer to break down the retest and fail anyway. PODD or PODD, P-O-D-D. I guess it's not PODD, right? P-O-D-D. Come on. Okay, there's the entire fib. So where are we at? What in the world is going on? All right, so we had a really nice close today, right at that 205.71. If we can get, ideal for me would be the upside move. If we can, let me see, 5, 17, 20, we don't need a fib in there. So actually, let's do this. Let's get rid of the crosshair. Just too busy there. So on the upside, we need a small move up, come back and retest. Doesn't have to come all the way to the 205.71, 206, 6.5, whatever your number is, and then bounce. Once it bounces, it needs to get above X. What's X? For me, it's probably 207, 207.5. Somewhere in there is where the entry would come in. And resistance is at 222.5. My target's going to be right about 220. My stop is going to be just below that 205.71. On the downside, I could consider it, but I've got a 200 level right in there, and that needs to be a resistance. So I'm going to get in about 204 and 3/4. I'm going to get out at about 201. Yeah, not a lot of room in there for me. I'm not really excited about the downside, so I'm going to pass on the downside. Right? Last is SPGI, which is almost like spaghetti, right? We had a really nice close today. We did break above, chipped away at the ice yet again, 2 days in a row on that 508.24 level. All right, let's scrunch that down. Okay, so the upside target or trade is the ideal one first to look at. So get above that 508.24, come back and retest. Not all the way down, doesn't have to, and bounce. Right about 509.5, 510 would be the entry. You pick where you would want to get in. And then resistance is at 515. My target would probably be 513. My stop's going to be just on the other side of that 508.25. To the downside, I have a move potential down to 502, but it's not real exciting to me. Move up into that 508 and fail. If 502 is my support, my target is 504. Well, if I get in at 506 and I'm out at 504, may not be the best setup for me. So I do like the upside to this better. So today, and it's just how the S&P is working right now, today we wind up with 3 directional trades, not bi-directional for either one of them or any of the 3. All right, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great rest of your day. And if you haven't already done so, make sure you subscribe to the email list where we send you out notification of this. And I'll leave all the details down below. You can go over to tradinglikeaboss.com. You can go to tradewithrob.com. You can register there. And what's going to happen is you're not going to get just these 3 candidates. We'll tell you, hey, the video is published. But there are 17 candidates on our list in total today, 14 of them that you never saw. So you'll have those other 14 candidates that are on my list today for the same exact setups that we're looking at here. All right? So, and it's free. My favorite number in the world. Take advantage of it. Have a great one. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.